When I was little, my father was famous. He was the greatest samurai in the empire.
You seen it? Okay.
He cut off the heads of 131 lords.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jerry Williams, aka GreaterSapien. Thanks for stopping by. Today, I'm going to get on for a little bit and just kind of talk off the top of my head. I've actually found that it's a little bit difficult to just talk into the void like this sometimes, even though I can talk constantly. So today I am, you can hear him in the background. I'm calling on a friend of mine who is just one of my go-to people when it comes to just having a free-form conversation. My buddy Jesse Vale. So I'm going to be bringing him in today. First, let me see if there's anything going on in the chat real quick. Let me get the comments up. See if anybody's in the room. Cool, nobody yet. So I'm going to just pop in with Jesse here and see what's up. Hey, what's up, Jesse?
What up, brother?
Hey. So this is my friend Jesse Vale. I generally is known as Bino. So I will be probably switching back and forth. if for some reason I actually refer to his name while talking to him today, why would I be using your name?
Yeah.
While talking to you,
right?
But that's the gentleman right here, and he and I have done a lot of creative things together. And actually, I'm going to do a little something here real quick.
For 25 plus years, bro.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm just going to do a little quick interface change here, just for the sake of S and Gs. I'm just gonna throw that up there right there, and so change up the interface. So Jesse and I, we've done a lot of creative projects under the guise of the name of the Greater Apes, and so I don't know if you can see that, Bino, but I've stuck the new logo up there on there. So,
there it is.
Yeah, so
Our old school logo.
Old school logo. We used that a long time ago doing work.
Publishing. That was actually for publishing.
Sorry, folks. I just had a little bit of
snack just decided to attack you back.
Yeah. Jeez. Got a little shell in my hard-boiled egg. So we got some people in the room. Now we got this is on my main GreaterSapien channel and my aka GreaterSapien channel, and we've invited some friends from Facebook and stuff to check in as well. So there's going to be some new faces here. I'm just going to do a quick look. Who do we got in the room? We got Guitar J. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know you from your screen name, but hey. Frustrated Atheists. What's the discussion? The world today.
The world
That's
today.
The discussion.
Yeah.
Warren Masters. Sup, Warren? The Russian name?
The Russian name?
If you talk into the void long enough, it will talk back. Yep. Is this a beta, Jesse? And you know, hey Ben, you know Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer Horsley is my cousin in New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Are you frozen? You're.
We're back.
Yeah, it blinks out every so often. Something about this interface.
Yeah, this is our experiment, so I'm not hardwired in yet. But
okay, cool. So the topic today is really just whatever's kind of going on in our brain.
Well, you have a few things.
Yeah, I have a few things. You know, we're here in Oakland. We just had our curfews just kind of ended yesterday, so we're kind of free to roam about, as free as we can be during the coronavirus. I don't know about you. Well, actually, I do know a little bit about how it is for you, Bino, but it's the lack of social activity is weighing on me a little bit.
Me too. Well, we discovered that my specialty is really talking to strangers. So, I miss it. I had the city of Oakland in my backyard because they had to have access to a sewer line. I was pleased as punch to talk to these guys from my porch.
Yeah. And actually, I don't think I mentioned this to you, Bino, but given the kind of the lockdown that we've all been in because of coronavirus, you don't get out and see people, and we as a species, we're like real physical creatures. We need to experience each other. Yeah. And it's just, doesn't happen as much when you don't see your friends. So the other day I was out shopping and I was at Ace Hardware at the nursery.
Yeah.
And I'm just trucking along, and out of nowhere, someone just practically yells at, really loud, Jerry Williams!
That's how it's pronounced.
And that's true. And so I look up, and it's Jesse, who I haven't seen in person very often. We try to talk as much as we want. And I didn't tell you this at the time, but what happens is you see him. I saw him, and I'm like, oh shit, right? And so then we start approaching each other, and my first thing is just like is to embrace one of my oldest friends, right? That's just
exactly.
the thing.
Yeah.
And it was kind of at that moment when I realized how painful the coronavirus and all this has been, because it's like, oh crap, I have to just stand here.
Yeah. Because a lot of your loved ones are really at your house, and you can have interactions with them.
Right.
That's what
but I hadn't seen you in person in a long time, and it was like, hey, what's up?
We should also add to that mix. There's an emotionality to it. Is that I went through a lot recently, and Jerry is very protective of me, and I missed that hug.
I'm not doing this scripted at all, but I have to confess, in terms of protection, you just said I'm protective of you. You're kind of my white person's shield right now. Because and the only reason I think of that is because, one, you're the first person I've ever had on the live stream, like on camera, and you happen to be white. And I happen to be getting accused of being amazingly racist because I talk about black stuff now. So this is my white friend human shield.
Hi, also known as a beard in other places.
Yeah. So
also, just to reflect back, I mean, obviously you're my black best friend. So when people start getting mad at me, I go, well, my best friend is black.
And of course, that sounds like a cliche.
Yeah, and I actually have never really said that. I gotta be honest. Ever, unless it was ironic to people,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So BJ asked if this is a live conversation between us. Yeah, we actually have these conversations all the time.
All the time.
And
how many years have we thought we needed to look? I mean, as long as we've known each other, which, God damn it, why isn't this recorded? It's so fucking funny and good. And so recently I said to Jerry, I'm like, dude, this is the age of Zoom and other things, and it's literally all we've ever wanted. We wanted this for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Just record us talking. That's it.
Yeah, our habit is to go to a movie and then just head over to whatever closest food joint or just stand outside.
Parking lot.
And then talk for the length of the movie.
Yeah, or more.
About the movie, so that's the way it goes. So someone asked if this is a conversation to us. It's between the two of us, but whatever topic you guys might bring up, I mean, then I might want to show him to see if he's seen it. Yeah. Other than that, I want to hear from people in the chat, see what's going on with you guys. Let's see. Yeah, so Warren says a protest killed the virus. Yeah. We wish.
What does that mean?
I think he's joking.
Oh.
Honestly, we're going to see what happens with these protests. I mean, there's been a recent spike because of the protests to open things back up.
Right.
So there's been a recent spike. We're not going to see the results of this for a while. I mean, I guess 10 days. 10 to 10.
And actually, can I jump back for a second?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there was something that occurred to me that when we were talking about the curfew, it just immediately occurred to me, because I knew we were going to bring up race, because that's what we do. That the curfew meant totally different things for you and I.
Yeah.
Totally different things. Like when it first went down, it was like the next day I had to do a Safeway shop, And my girlfriend and I were shopping, and I was worried for a second, and then I went, with a car full of groceries, if I get pulled over at 10 p.m., I'm going to be able to say, brother, I'm on my way home. And I'm literally going to be able to say that, brother, I'm on my way home. A little sassy even. And he's going to be like, all right, I just wanted to make sure, whatever that means.
Yeah. Again, it's no plan here, but there's a question up here that is actually kind of relevant. It's come up before, and I'm just going to put it up on screen here from Ben. Can you see that there, Ben?
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool feature.
So he says, you're prone to getting racist hate comments. Are you sure that anthropomorphizing yourself as a monkey is the best decision for this video? And that's a very interesting comment because
they don't understand how we created it.
But it is something I have struggled with over the years. My original YouTube channel was just Greater Ape, and then I started getting some feedback and stuff, and I wanted to separate it out, and that's when the whole kind of GreaterSapien persona came.
Right.
But it has been something that I've kind of struggled with back and forth, So, I'm a big fan of apes. They're just like apes and robots are like my two things I love more than anything. But the fact is there is a racist history with black people being depicted as monkeys.
As monkeys. And that was really a conversation that we had. And we were we're like, okay, well, let's try this but that's with us.
Yeah.
We know how to differentiate. And this is the thing that I have a problem with fucking people. Anyway, that's a later topic. But I remember, but GreaterSapien, when you have that, I was like, oh, well, that actually makes no sense, because the whole process, or the whole thought process, was the greater apes are actually a step above humans in evolution. But I guess the pictorial doesn't really.
Yeah. And the whole, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk to, feel free to, because I think you probably remember it better than I do, when the whole just concept of greater apes came up.
I remember exactly where we were.
What was? Go ahead.
What's that? It's where the food court is, and the movie theater that we used to go to all the time. Emeryville. Yeah.
Powell Street.
We were walking to a movie. I have no idea what. After having eaten, and I brought it up.
Yeah. Oh, that was it? Okay. I thought it was a better story than that.
No, that's really it. These stories are not going to be funny. They're just really
But I distinctly remember at one point driving, I think I was with you, and doing like a 3-point turn or something while adjusting the radio and doing all these kind of complex things.
I remember more than you do.
Yeah. and then
I had a little twitch in me.
But then I remember saying, after doing it all, I was like, it's really cool being a greater ape.
Yeah.
The fact that I just did all these amazing things at once, that I was keeping my spatial relationship. I was doing this 3-point or something. So I did a little manipulation, and all this stuff was going on in my head. And we don't think about all the things we're capable of doing that that just are kind of like just awesome, that we can just do all these things at once.
Yeah.
And my thought was, it's just really cool being a greater ape. It's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
And then it evolved from there. So who was it? Ben, you're absolutely right. It has been an issue when it comes to the way things are depicted. So I never depict myself as an ape solo. It's always kind of as the two of us.
Because then I'm there.
Yeah. Because it's not, I refer to myself just because of our size, is like I'm the gorilla, he's the chimp, my wife is the bonobo.
And once upon a time, very lithe and run around a lot. So that's we decided.
And I'm big and I smash things.
Yeah, and I think was there ever an animation of you just going?
No, but we talked about it. but I don't, it's not like a public persona's like, like I'm going out and saying and kind of promoting myself as a gorilla or anything like that. This is just kind of like the group of us, and kind of an identity we have amongst ourselves. But it's a completely sensible thing to think about, and a lot of people don't think about that kind of thing, Ben. So good on you for having that in your.
No, I agree too. And again, because it's insular, it was our decision, us, and it made sense when we were always together. But yeah, I agree. Like, so much so, I have to admit, I didn't even really think of it. Honestly, I didn't really even think of it. And now I'm not so sure we got to go by it.
Yeah,
so I don't want people to have that idea. I really, if it's going to be, depending on what percentage we decide that people are going to have this.
Did you see this?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's our personas, but they're Kong-like personas. They're Kong
personas.
That's
awesome.
Pretty funny.
Awesome.
That's pretty funny.
That is such a cool feature, dude.
Yeah. And this one here, opposable thumbs. I don't know if you've noticed, Mr. Masters, that my I'll have to switch it up here, but my original, like the name of my regular show, is fully opposable.
Yep.
GreaterSapien, because we have fully opposable. See.
Yeah.
And I'm allowing people to conflict with me and criticize me, and I'm being fully opposable to their points of view. Yeah, see, it was kind of a thing.
Yeah, and can we be honest? I'm not so good at that. I'm going to take some shit personally.
Yeah, yeah, you take things personally. So there was something else so someone also asked, do you know Warren? Are you familiar? Is Warren a friend of yours? Okay.
Warren Masters?
Yeah. But yes.
Wait. They called me Dina.
Well, yeah, because I've said it early on in the thing.
Oh. Okay.
And someone in the chat's calling you Bino.
Yeah. Yes, I did actually. Every time we went to a convention, I tried, but the technology wasn't so good. And very recently, I've had a lot of blue spiky hair, but
yes,
it was also a way for us to differentiate ourselves. And if you look at the body of the character, oh my God, do you have the characters I made? Oh, please.
Yes. So my man Jesse is a puppeteer, prop maker, stage manager, theater director, blah 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 blah. And yeah, so let's see here. So this would be the
face it in the other direction so it looks like the logo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, but I put wire in there, so bring it down a little bit.
What's that?
The hair. I put wire in the hair, so it's.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Wire in the hair. I used to have glasses, so there were some glasses that were adhered to him there, and then there's there's this guy here. So
wiggle it around so you understand this is really my personality. It is.
I don't know how these things sit. So yeah, so we made these guys as well as just like mascots.
Yep.
And they sit next to me right over here.
Weird.
Over there. Who's that? Plot Hole. Plot Hole does a podcast. So I think I'm going to be showing up over there in a week or two, something like that. We'll figure that out. So yes. So yeah, this is just, you guys are learning a lot about me here.
Yeah. Hey, real quick to cut in. I'm seeing the people from your feed and so forth, but I know that Jennifer's here. Any of my people, just chime in. Just say, here I am. I just want to see if you're, I have no idea who's watching. Just for curiosity's sake.
Cojones. These are fun. Oh, I don't know how many people in the room.
I actually appreciate what Warren just said. I'm proud of our friendship. I've always been proud of our friendship.
Yeah.
Could you bring that one up? So
that, sure.
People can't see. Yeah. We've from the moment we met, which was at a recording for a puppet show. And I was nervous. It was the first puppet show I'd ever recorded with Lewis. Look into our history to see what that means.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I have performance anxiety, and I couldn't do it. So Jerry agreed to switch roles because I couldn't sing, or I didn't want to. I can, but I didn't want to. That was it. And so that was the first time we ever went.
Yeah, I was like 92, 91.
Actually, it was later than you think. It was like 94, 95.
It was before I got married, though.
Yes.
And I got married in 95, so.
Yeah. It was like a few months before you got married. And it's always funny to me that Robin has always said, you weren't at my wedding. I didn't know you, really. I wish we could find that video, dude.
Which one?
That you put me at the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, we gotta start with the in-joke stuff. But
yeah. In-jokes don't make for good recording. Interesting information from TP Seeker talking about the history of the silverback.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah, so I've always had a problem. I've always had conflict with the racist connotation of black people when it comes associating them with primates and with gorillas, with monkeys, is because the silverback gorilla is my favorite freaking animal. Yeah. I love that thing. And so yes, even as I started going gray, I'm like, hey, no problem, silverback, I'm good. And so that I've always been incredibly frustrated by that association because I think it's a great association. I'm like, I love being associated with our ancestors. I love being associated with these creatures, and I hate the fact that it's been used as a weapon. I can't stand. I hate that. It's been
let me ask you this, because honestly, I know this sounds really ignorant. This didn't come up. I mean, it did to a degree, but I guess it was because it was us together that it just really didn't. It was just something that we did together. But the thought left my goddamn head.
Well, we were doing this before. We were doing this before the internet. We were doing this before we were internet things, and so people who we interacted with knew us personally, and so it was different. Once you start introducing yourself,
I just remember what it was. Is it obviously not so meaningful? But did you feel, because it's your favorite animal, did you feel like, no, this belongs to me, I get to do what I fucking want?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's definitely part of that. But it's like, I get to do it, no one else gets to do it. I mean, you don't get to call me that and to say that because you're saying it with spite. I know the difference between someone saying it with, hate in their heart, whatever that really means, but with spite versus the way I use it. So.
Yeah.
Warren says we're all hairless apes.
Exactly.
Some of us were hairless
Adrian!
apes.
Oh my God! Wait, it says Adrian Beth, so I have no idea who it is.
Oh, you thought it was Age?
No, a different Adrian. Okay. It's either Adrian or Beth.
Okay. That's funny. So what do you?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. I'm fascinated.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're hearing is that there are 25 years of conversations to bring up, there's actually, when you think about it, in the past few months, it feels like 25 years of things to bring up.
Oh yeah, it's been an amazing
history, and the times that we live in now are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's these have been the longest 3 months that I've experienced in a very long time. I'm an old ass man. I'm 52 years old, not really old, but time kind of clicks away for us. It's like, oh my God, it's already May. God, it's already June. Oh, it's already July. No, it has dragged. This has been madness. It's like March and April. April seemed to take forever because it just kept coming.
Yeah,
it just kept coming.
which is a good time to bring up that really this should have been a gift to me to have uninterrupted creativity time, but I suffer from a mental illness, so this is obviously going to be part of what we're talking about on some level of depression and anxiety, panic. So that's something that I'm going to need to bring up. It's part of how I react to things. It's part of who I am. So
Right.
I'm just bringing it.
Right.
That was
Right.
me like throwing it into the mix.
No, it's yeah, and I think it's got to be interesting for you when someone says something like, "Oh, this must be great for you that you don't have to interact with people," or it's like, "Oh, I know, I'm starting to feel depressed because of all this. I know how you feel."
Yeah, that's happened.
That's
Definitely happened. Not personally. Nobody said that to me personally, but I've seen it out there. We're like, now I get it. I never thought of it that way. I hope that actually carries through. There's so many things about this. We should call it like COVID carry-throughs. There's certain things, and you know what I'm talking about. All of you know what I'm talking about. There's certain COVID carry-throughs that I wish will stick.
Yeah.
And I don't think they will.
Well, just for me, it's just like that basic courtesy of like personal space and crowd control. Like we go shopping, we're like, no, you go ahead. I'll wait. You kind of wait your turn for stuff. You kind of give people a little bit of a break if there's some tension going on. You're like, yeah, okay, things are stressful, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a break. I have to tell you about something I did was terribly wrong the other day. You haven't heard about this.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
But
filter it first.
but yeah, these are the kind of things. It's like this is the way we should be acting all the time.
Yeah,
this is the way we should be acting all the time.
Well,
and
but
hopefully it'll continue. But you're right; it's probably not going to.
Yeah, but this is how we should act all the time. There's another part of this whole thing, COVID, is that it's revealing things. Not even just things like, oh, this is good. Oh, and I know this has been disputed. Oh, I can hear the birds more. That's nice. I can't think of it. But you know what I mean. The things that are carry through. I want people, we love the clean air. Well, okay, remember that shit. There's also the other side of it, and that is, this is really revealed assholes.
yeah. It's this whole thing from COVID to the current protests and the racial tension. I would say the cream has risen to the top, to a certain degree, but whatever the opposite of cream that rises is, that scum. The scum has floated to the surface.
I will give it to detritus.
Detritus, yeah.
Which is an inside joke. Sorry.
But that's floated to the surface as well. I mean, that it's I mean, my wife has a friend who's relatively conservative and has been for a while, but recently the rhetoric has just ramped up in a way on Facebook that I actually just kind of reached out and said, you know what, you need to just unfriend that person on Facebook because I don't want that energy to get, that information. Energy is a touchy-feely thing, but it's still there.
I know what you mean by No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's like, you know what, we don't need that on this person for as long as you've known me, 35 years.
Right.
But you don't need that. You can still you're still friends with this person, but I'm sorry, that kind of racist apology stuff, white supremacist ignoring thing. We can't have it in this house. We just can't have it.
No.
And so that's coming to the fore.
Well, and the best way to describe that for maybe people who haven't experienced that is, taking a break from the news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, look, I'm the same way. I need to know what the hell's going on because I need, like, after 9/11, you couldn't drag me away from television because I needed to understand what the fuck just happened. We're not going to bring that up at all. But anyways, but one thing I do want to bring up, because, and it's funny that the conversation has turned to this, is that for many years in our conversations, well, we had the term low com-dom, which means lowest common denominator.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I use it at work all the time. People are like, what? I'm like, low com-doms.
Yeah, low com-dom. And that means lowest common denominator, which means that things in this world are designed for the lowest common denominator. The fact that a bucket has a baby with its head in water on every goddamn 5-gallon bucket
with a little no sign on it or whatever.
With a little no sign on it is goddamn ridiculous. And one of the things I bring up all the time, I used to live in San Jose, is that along the light rail, there are chains, and every other one has a metal sign that shows a person running in front of a train with a no sign on it. And I think, how much fucking money did that take? Right? Now that's just basic, but so now you know what a low com-dom is, everybody. But
my joke is always that, my example is always that we can't just have a no parking sign, because no parking means no parking.
Right.
But we have to make it, we got to dumb it down even more. No parking anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime. Not just no parking anytime. We have to say it again. Yeah. But no parking anytime, 24 hours. You got to make sure that people know that it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? They have to just keep reiterating on these signs. It's like no parking anytime, 24 hours or 24/7. They'll put it on there because at some point it says no parking and someone still parks there. And it's like, well, when can't I park? When is a good time to park? Well, no time. It's no parking. No. But that's not enough for them. And so the world is kind of run by the fact that we have to just bring things down to their level, to the lowest common denominator.
Because every single time that sign was redesigned, think of how many people it took. There was a meeting, there were numbers that were gathered, and there was decision makers that had to say, yes, let's do this. Money had to be spent. People had to be hired. Designers had to be brought together. That's why, like, our favorite one and my other persona performance, which is not really online, is No Children at Play.
Say again?
No Children at Play, or Slow Children at Play.
Slow Children at Play.
Yeah, because
Monday through Sunday.
Who fucking did that? Monday through Sunday?
Yeah, there's just people putting down their examples of things. Yeah, it's just the way it goes.
I'm not used to looking at the comments yet.
Yeah, they rule our world. They do. The low com-doms rule the world.
Yeah. So here's the thing I want to bring up, and all those other things you'll hear me bring up later, but because they're important to me. But I tend to go off topic.
Yeah. So do I.
Yeah.
They know that about me, though.
Yeah. Here's the thing that I really wanted to bring up. I didn't mean to. We decided we were going to do this without thinking ahead. But it's been a conversation with my girlfriend and I about. For years, you and I have talked about low com-dom. See, I can get back to the point, ladies and gentlemen. Where
it's a long, circuitous route, but we get there.
I get there. Is that I used to sort of think it was like, I don't know, the number 32% pops into my brain. That 32% of the world's population are low com-dom.
They're probably higher than that.
I know, and this is part of the conversation. So everybody watching, I want your opinion and why, because my thought process is because of this event that started to change. Maybe it's because I had more time to think about it. I don't know, but I used to think it was about 32%. because I'm an optimist. I know they exist. And I thought, like, yeah, third. But then we all saw this since 2000 that about 32% of this country will vote Republican no matter what. And I got to be honest.
You done it now. Oh, you done it now. Oh, you done it. You brought
I
up
know
politics.
I know I have. But they can't all be low condoms. And that doesn't mean that there aren't liberals that aren't low condoms too. So recently, I've brought the number up. I'm not going to tell you the number that I think. I want to know your opinion.
Oops, wrong one.
Whoa! That high, Michael?
Yeah. Yeah.
80-20 rule? That's a rule.
So.
Is that an internet rule? Like rule 30, whatever it is?
Yeah, so that's a couple that are put out there.
Yeah.
Dark Maida, what are you saying, Dark Maida? I see you're saying notice me. Hey, I'm seeing you. Okay, I saw you. Yeah,
We
I
see
did
you.
see. Yeah.
What up?
I want to tell you what I did that I'm not necessarily proud of myself of doing.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Please. Those are my favorite.
And I try to make up for it. I had to
too.
go. I had to go to Safeway the other day, and it was the last day that there was still a curfew going on. So I go over, but it's like, oh crap, we don't have enough hamburger buns, and fire's going. I need to go get this thing. So that's all I needed was hamburger buns and a little bit more meat. Literally, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
So I hop over the hill, and it's 7:45, and I get there, and I have my AirPods on, and a homeless woman's asked me for a little bit of something, and I give her a little something, and she's saying something to me, and I don't know what she's saying. I'm like, sorry, I can't hear you over this. And I wasn't being an asshole. I was just like, I can't hear you over this.
Right.
But what she was saying was, as I got further away, she got louder. She was saying stores closed.
Right.
Right. She was saying stores closed. But I was like, stores? Did she say stores closed? And then I got up, and the security guy was like letting somebody out and going, and I'm like, what do you mean? What's up? And he says, the store's closed. I'm like, why is it closed? It's 7:45. Well, we're closed for curfew and because of the protests. I'm like, but it's 7:45.
Right.
It's not 8:00 yet.
We don't have transporter.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but we can't can't let anybody else in. And I'm like, look, I only need two things. I literally just need two things. They're nothing. I can just get in and out. And someone else is coming up as well. He's like, what's going on? And he's like, is it closed? And I'm like, yeah, they're saying it's closed, but it doesn't make it. Just can I just? And he's like, no, I'm sorry. I can't. So he's closing the door and doing a lot. And so the guy comes up to me. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, they're saying they're closed, but you know what? And I said, is the other Safeway closed? Through the window, he goes, yeah, it's closed too. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't have any other options. So screw that. So someone comes out the outdoor.
Oh!
And so I just walked right in through the outdoor, and the security person's like, sir, you can't. I just looked at him and just kept walking. And the other security guy was like, hey, and I'm just kept walking. Now, this is me. This is me. And these are two, I feel bad. They're two like Eritrean security guards, right? You know the Safeway, and they're not going to stop me.
No,
they don't get paid enough to try to stop me. And they don't know that I'm a person that, honestly, if they really insisted, I'd be like, okay, fine. They don't know that. They don't know that I'm actually not aggressive in that way to fight my way into a goddamn store.
Right.
And in my brain, I knew they didn't know that. So I just kind of used the fact that I'm a big scary dude to walk right in the store.
Oh.
Right? And I was like, fuck. I was literally, as I walked by and the checker sister, she looked at me, and I kind of looked at her, and I just kept walking. In my head, I was like, God damn. But you know what? I don't have any other options. We don't have any food tonight. So I went in, literally less than 2 minutes in there in the line with other people. Other people were still going around shopping, so I wasn't slowing anything down. Right?
Lines are all the way through. All the way.
So I got in there, and other people were still shopping. So as I go through, I'm just like, okay. don't feel great about what I did. Honestly, don't.
No.
So what I did is I grabbed a 3-pack of Amazon gift cards.
Oh, get the fuck out! Really?
Yeah, I grabbed a 3-pack of Amazon gift cards, put some money on them, and then gave one to the checker and said, "Look, I know I broke the rules, and you let me in here." And she's like, "Thanks," and I gave it to her. And then I went over to the security guard, and the security guard honestly kind of gave a step back when he saw me coming toward him. He was like,
"Shit,
what's up, sir?" And I'm like, "Here, look, here, this is for you. This is for not giving me any shit. And where's your partner? Oh, he went back there." I'm like, "Here, give this one to him." And he's like, they were like, "Thanks." Okay. And I'm like, "So sorry about that." Yeah. And I left, but it's like, and it's, I mean, like I said, I tried to make up for it, but honestly, it wasn't a good look.
And it was using something that you hate.
Yes. Yeah. Using the natural fear people tend to have of me, to my advantage.
And obviously, because in this way we know we're opposites. I don't know if I could got away with that.
Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, you're a full 2 feet shorter than I am.
Shut up, you asshole! Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, that is a ongoing, decades-long joke about our size difference.
I will do the visual. If you, the one time that Jerry drew me walking, he put a sound effect, and it was this. Actually, it was deedle, deedle, deedle.
Deedle, 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 but yeah. Deedle, 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 deedle. Yeah. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was something that happened the other day.
All right.
And
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I came back and
I
told
want to pop back to actually that's a good comment from Max Mac.
what have happened if they called the police?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but when I left the store, when I was standing in line, I talked to my wife. She said, I said, by the way, this is what happened. And I didn't get her text until I came out because, sometimes you get into the store and it's basically like a Faraday cage and you don't get any signal. So when I got out, I got the text, which is like, be careful. People will, scared people will find any reason. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking that when I was in the line, but yeah, everyone else was, I could tell the vibe was still good. They were still.
Well, they knew you too.
Yeah, I've been in. This is my local store.
Yeah,
it's my local store. But still, you're absolutely right about the possibility. And I didn't. It's one of those things where just briefly, I just wasn't thinking about it. I was just, this is what I need to do.
You wouldn't have sent your son.
Yeah. Thing is, though, there were 2 other people who were behind me outside after I went in. They were in the store too. Somehow they got into. I think the guy just gave up and let people in.
Yeah, you made up. But this is something you would not have sent your son to do.
Oh, hell no. No, I wouldn't know. It would never have happened. I would not have allowed it.
What was it, the first or second day, third day of curfew that you realized he was out walking the dog?
Yeah. I think it was the second day of curfew. I'd been telling him to walk the dog all day, and he had gotten around to do it. So finally, I'm like, dude, you got to go walk the dog. She needs to get out. And he's like, fine. He goes out. And I think it was like 10 minutes before curfew started. And then it was 20 minutes after curfew. He was still out. And I called him. And that's when I realized, I was like, okay, he should be back oh, crap. It's freaking curfew. Now, where I live in Oakland, most likely there wasn't going to be any police because they were all going to be heading about 2 or 3 miles away to where the protests were. But I'm not that far off protests.
Yeah.
But I am near a neighborhood. I am near a neighborhood where the police department is notoriously kind of racist.
Yes, the other side of the track.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah. I live on the border of a city that is
thinks it's a city and
thinks they're a little bit better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And so that was my first fear. I was like, the last thing we need is, doesn't matter. The last thing we need is a Piedmont cop deciding that they need to They need to,
Yeah.
be extra enforcey. So I called him up and I'm like, dude, how close are you? He's, oh, I'm down the street. I'm like, yeah, you need to come home. It's past curfew. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I forgot about that. He's like, okay, I'm 5 minutes away or whatever. But I was like, crap, my 15-year-old kid is out there in this time. Yeah.
And can I tell you what my history with Piedmont cops is?
Oh, sure.
I once had a car that had a broken windshield, a broken rear window, side window, because I got broken into. And remember, I made that wood.
Piece of wood, yeah.
Yeah, I had, because I'm broke, because I decided once upon a time that I don't care, and I'm just going to be an entertainer. I didn't have, well, he didn't know this, but I didn't have a license. And I didn't have registration. I'm sure there was a light or two out. And stuff like this. And he was on a motorcycle. And I was literally leaving where I was teaching. And about to turn right. And this motorcycle cop comes up to me. And in his own voice, not over the loudspeaker voice, do you know how many ways I could pull you over right now? I go, yeah. And he goes, get out of my head. Just get out of here. That's how cops relate to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That was Piedmont?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's always been a kind of running joke of when we see Piedmont cops pull somebody over, it's like, guess whether or not they pulled over a black person or pulled over a white person. It's like, one, if there's more than one cop car, it's definitely a black person.
Yep.
It was always just like, oh, they pulled over a black person. I know, there's two cars. There's two cop cars. You drive up. Yep, there it is. Yeah, Piedmont's notorious.
Yeah. So, because I want sort of an answer, what's the number? How many people are irredeemable? And I got to put it that way. How many people throughout history are the people that cause the issues? And you know that I get extreme on this shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't want people hurt. You need to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want people hurt ever. That is so antithetical to what I believe. But I need to recognize there are people in the world who cannot be taught. There are people in the world who don't understand that they breathe through their nose and they wear masks below them. It happens. And I've seen it not just in I've seen it in every walk of life. Because I've seen it in every walk of life, I decided, look, I got to redo my numbers.
Right.
I got to redo my numbers.
Right. Yeah. It all depends on what, irredeemable. Irredeemable is not over, for me, it's not over 50%, but still being kind of low dom in terms of they really just need their hand held a little too many times. I would put in because there's how they are and how they choose to be as well. Like what I did. I decided, you know what? Rule doesn't apply to me right now.
Okay, so
there's that.
There needs to be a different. Because
so I'm in maybe the low 60s.
In that instance, you were low condom.
Yeah.
But this is why you felt bad.
Right.
So I got to pull my number back a little.
I would say, like I said, low 60s.
I was thinking, and here's my number, 65%.
Yeah.
They just can't handle it. And this makes me so sad. No, this makes me so sad.
I'm sorry, this one is for you.
Yay! Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly it.
This is the world we're in now.
Yeah, but I this is going to come up more often for me because this is something I need to explore. It's baffling. It's baffling. I love our species. I've seen because I paid attention to what we've been through, how we became this. You know what I'm talking about, Jerry. This is the reason why we're the greater apes, is that we like what the greater ape, that we like that the Homo sapiens sapien is a greater ape.
Yes.
And I'm so disappointed with it.
Yes. Yeah. We don't always rise to the challenge, to the standard that we seem like that seem very simple to do. The simple humanity sometimes is amazing how difficult it is. Like just like with a gentleman who got the older guy, he was 75, that got pushed by the police in Buffalo, got shoved back and hit his head, right?
Yeah.
There's levels of wrongness that happen there. You know, there's like, okay, you shouldn't have done levels of wrongness. Okay. But there, you know, it's like, okay, you shouldn't have done this, and then, but once you did that, you should have done this next, and then, but since you didn't do that, you should have done this. You know, there's things there are all these opportunities to do something. It's like one of the guy who didn't push as aggressively, but he had his baton and he pushed, and the guy went down, and then once he saw what happened, it switched in his brain, and he saw what was going on, and he decided, oh, I better help this guy.
Right.
So he moved to help. But then the guy behind him said, move along.
Right.
You know, so then the opportunity to move along, and it's probably senior than him, and so he chose to move. He put that humanity of himself aside and decided to move on.
Yeah.
You know. And the guy said, you know, go get those guys. It's like, oh, okay, we have to do our job part, as opposed to this protect part. There's this thing we did right here. This person who's actually in harm's way right now that we could be doing something to. And it switched. It went from not doing right, you know, it's like let's just be like general about it. Bad person to good person, back to bad person.
Yeah.
You know.
And you see that I'm anxious about this because the best thing I can do as a white person in these times, in those situations, is to stand up.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Oh yeah.
But I have to, and I haven't had well, no, that's it. I've obviously had opportunities here and there. You know, but there were times I failed. And there were, you know, but I mean, I don't know. That should be a whole different topic. Let's just talk about that.
I mentioned in a couple of videos back. It's like we need to. I don't want to keep seeing videos of people recording something happening and no one else is doing it. I understand if you're the only person there, you got to record it. Somebody needs to record that this is happening.
Absolutely,
record it. But
that is your first duty.
Yeah, your duty is to record it. But you have to step in.
Who cares if you have the better shot? Just fucking know that guy. You got it. You got to move. You're closer, yeah. You got to fucking interfere, yeah.
Yeah, like you can see the whole argument going on. It's just like, hey, go do something. It's like, no, man, I got it framed real good. You go.
World star.
Yeah, so yeah, we don't want to, but yeah, people need to interfere. They need to be willing to risk their jobs.
You know, one thing
but it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard.
No, it's not. But we need to challenge ourselves, because here I am. I'm an older man, and I don't have the fire. No, that's not true. Let's put it another way. I have the fire. I don't necessarily have the ability, and I have a different mindset now.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things I'm about to order is a quality bullhorn, because the most important thing that I have in a protest is maybe my voice, my decision-making capability.
Yeah, and you're just being there. You know, yeah. The thing is, we're older. We have more responsibilities. Like I have to make sure I come home to my family. I am like the breadwinner. Blah blah blah. You know, I need to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
So I get
shorthand of that is that Jerry once challenged us to on what your 40th to jump out of an airplane, but Malachi was bored.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yep, can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I was going to jump out, and it's like, yep, can't do it. But so it is difficult for people who have the responsibilities that we have to do things, and that's people have to make their own decisions on that. I went out the other day, and then once I saw it, it got to the point where I don't think I couldn't socially distance myself properly. I backed off because I need to make sure that I don't bring anything into this house. That's my primary thing.
Yeah.
But it's tough for people, but I think it's less tough for the younger generation. I got to say, I mean, you've been around as long as I have. These things have happened several times in our life. The most notable one was Rodney King, and then things started happening, a few years after that. Then there's another few years after that. I got to say the participation from the non-black community has gone up every single time.
Agreed.
It's when it was just Rodney King, it was just black folks and Hispanics and other poor neighborhood folks. It was just like that was it.
The better milestone is OJ.
Yes.
Yes. Huge schism.
But every generation, not even full generations, but each iteration of this, sadly, we keep having these iterations of this issue coming up. But the involvement of the younger, and I think it's mostly younger, non-people of color, the white folks, has been more. They're just because they're more culturally aware. Their circles are bigger and more diverse.
Yeah.
And so they see and they talk to people. They don't need to be educated as much because they're there in it and they're being educated all the time. So when these things come up, they're like, we know what the problem is. They don't have to go to their black friend and say, what's the problem? They don't have to, because as much they do to a certain degree, but they've been listening longer.
Right.
A higher percentage of life.
I got to point out here, because this is going to be an argument that I have for the future, is that social media has helped.
Yes.
I'm a fan of social media. I know it's evil. We'll talk about that later. But it's fucking important.
Oh, it's a great tool. It's a tool. That's the thing. Exactly. It's a tool. And so...
And I can put a nail in, or I can take a hammer and smash a window. Yeah. My position, it's a hammer.
Yeah. Michael brings up MLK getting protests and violence, but that's not my generation. I can't really speak to the amount of I'm speaking to the things that have happened in my basically in my adult, my aware years. Things happened in the 70s as well, but I was just a kid. But I've just noticed that the amount of involvement from the allies has been greater each time around, and I think that's an incredibly good thing.
And I think it's generational. I do think, because I do think that the greatest generation, having created the boomers, having created Gen X, and I'm speaking very, very measured, and so on and so forth. I'm a fucking huge millennial fan.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not one of those. Oh, these millennials, blah blah blah.
No, I think they're close to the greatest.
Yeah.
The boomers, the me generation, I think the boomers were awful.
Yeah.
Really?
The boomers really kind of sucked. We've got a pretty good group of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's one thing I think why it seems to me that we've done fairly well during this whole lockdown is we're the latchkey kids. We're the ones that were
I know how to be alone by myself.
We know how to be alone and how to deal with stuff.
Yeah. I've actually brought up with some friends of mine who are part of my mental health community who were sad, and I was like, hey, look, everybody, look, we're the fucking experts right now.
Yeah.
Right? We know how to hunker down and stay alive.
Yeah.
But yes, latchkey kids. Oof. I don't know how I'm alive.
I know. Yeah. We messed some stuff up. We barely survived. And we, that's why people talk about, well, we have all these safety measures and we have all these things, and like we have cushions on the play area, and we have this and we have that because all these kids are soft and blah blah blah. It's like the reason we have all of this is because our generation nearly killed themselves during all this.
Yeah.
It's like, we nearly lost it. Some of us did. Some people seriously interested. So when our generation is in charge of like putting together a merry-go-round or whatever, we're like, yo, you got to put some hats on this thing because we did that.
I literally have a mental image of a kid falling from the top of a slide who ended up paralyzed. I can remember it. I can remember because it was tragic.
Mm-hmm.
I was third grade, second grade. Yeah. So that compelled me to.
I had friends who broke things, and I had one childhood friend who lost testicles.
Oh!
It's one of those things where he was gone for a while, then he came back and
with a lighter voice.
No, he about it. He told me about it, and I wasn't sure I believed him. So he's like, "I'll show it to you. I'll show you." And so we went to the bathroom, and he's like,
and he was just like,
he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. He's just so we. I'm being told this. Who are you telling to show scars to?
What?
Like this one?
Show me your scar? What are you talking about?
But
wait, Cat of the Castle has a great point.
Who's that?
Cat of the Castle.
Young people today?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they do. I have a tremendous respect for this generation. I mean,
this is the only reason I have hope. It's the only reason I have hope.
Yeah. I mean, they're morons because they're kids, but all kids are morons. That's just the nature of kids.
Yeah, and that's a separate thing. But I deal with them. That's my job. But I can see the subtleties, and I can see them moving forward, and I can see. Look, I work with a group of teens right now who literally don't care about anything. Nothing. They don't care if their friends are gay. They don't care if their friends are black,
right? Or
any brown person. They don't care if they're white.
In a positive sense. Okay, I thought you were just saying like they were nihilists or something, but yes, they don't.
No. It's this very unique group, and they all grew up together, and they've all had these. It's like a little microcosm of what we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. But I deal with them in the show. And they don't care. They don't care. It doesn't even come up to them. Where if I'm curious about this or that and I'm watching it means nothing. It means nothing. And that's the only thing that gives me hope.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, that's good. I'm not one of those. I mean, I will for the fun of it. I'll kids these days, blah blah blah. But
no,
they're good.
Yeah. We're about time, brother.
Yeah, we're about time. I was being told to show my scar. This is this one. Yeah, I get so many things. Yeah, this one here was
ragu.
Was 5 years old, running on a kindergarten playground, and kind of ran, and I jumped over this barrier that we had, and just hit head to head, skull to skull, with this other kid, and his teeth just embedded right in here.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. His teeth embedded right. It got infected, and that's what all this kind of stuff happened, and all this kind of thing. yeah, this all swelled up, and then when everything kind of went down, there was like a little scar here that stayed, and it's just kind of grown over the years.
Obviously, I'm super surprised that anyone noticed, because to me, I literally don't notice.
No, that was
that's
Robin.
not to like
that
be
was,
like
that was that was Robin.
I don't notice when someone is. Fuck that shit. I've just known you for so long ago. Like, what? I didn't know they were talking about me. I was like,
police have made a medical breakthrough. Pepper spray cures corona, so they administer it as a public service. Yes.
Yes.
One, whoops, not that one.
Mayor, I remember monkey bars over asphalt as well.
Yes. Yeah, over asphalt. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why we have all these safety things, because we practically killed ourselves. But anyway.
Yep.
So sorry, this person. In many, not all instances. I mean, there's definitely that there's always instigators. There are always, outside agitators on these things. I'm not going to say that this is happening at all times, because there are also people who are just agitators just because that's what they want to do. It's like they don't care about the movement.
Back to the main argument. Yeah. That's why I had it. It's the low comment.
Yeah.
Who are the ones we cannot trust? Look, I know the scary road this is going down. I don't want to identify them. I don't want to eliminate them. That's some bullshit. If anyone comes up with that shit, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just wanting to know a realization. So, are the police obvious? But are all of them? No. I've known police. I know police who are in it for the right reason. And they hate these motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. But do we have to ask ourselves, because they say, there's a few bad apples, right? Blah, 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 blah.
There's way more than that.
There's way more than a few bad apples.
Because if you want to be a cop unless you're a type of person.
Yeah. And if you observe a bad apple doing something and you don't do anything about it, you're a bad apple.
Yeah.
That's just, and so that's just how it works for me. If you don't stop it, you're part of the problem in that job. It's not, I understand people on the outside. You can't be expected to do everything at all times, but that's your job as a law enforcement officer or peace officer or whatever you choose to call yourself, public prison guard. So I think, and the protests and the riots, because I think there's a distinct difference between actual protesting and rioting, have been bringing that out. It's just like, oh, look at that. Either all the bad ones are just managing to find their way on camera, or there just happens to be more of them than people want to admit.
Well, here's a comment from Michael Joseph.
People running.
No, did you hear?
No, the people running down policemen with their cars. Just saw video 2 incidents, so that's 25.
I have not heard of that. I would be interested in seeing it, and I don't doubt it whatsoever, because obviously this is something we have to get fucking used to. And this is what I mean about the low come down. This is what I mean about some of the people I don't trust. Because if you know me at all, with my art form specifically of puppetry and all the other things I do, subtlety is the most important. Of course there's cops that are fucking assholes. And of course there are people who come against cops to make them attack. Of course. But this is the thing. This is the black and white shit. How could you possibly see in black and white? You're not paying attention if you can see black and white. No. If you say all cops are bad, you're not advancing the conversation whatsoever. And if you're saying all cops are good, you're not advancing the situation whatsoever. Way more subtle. It involves time, patience.
Subtle is hard. Nuance is hard.
I know, but it's fucking necessary.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. Look, I couldn't have had the friends that I had without understanding, and neither could anyone without nuance and subtlety. Period. there's ways we use it every day of our lives where we just go, oh, or we can let it go. And I'm not saying we should let go of violence and so on and so forth. I just think that I understand the feeling because I've felt it. I've felt fuck the police 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I understand it. I don't think of anybody who has it on their car or whatever. I don't think like they're a low dom or they don't understand. It's just, yeah, fuck the police.
See, for me, it's funny. I kind of picture one of those little spinning tops, you know, those spinning things where it has the different like areas that the needle can land on.
Oh,
you know,
like
a game, yeah,
like a thing for twist.
A twister or something like that. You spin it and it's got, in my brain, it's like 4 of them. And there's Martin, there's Malcolm, there's T'Challa, and there's Killmonger. And,
Who the fuck is Killmonger?
You remember Killmonger from Black Panther?
Oh, right. Okay, got it.
And for me, throughout the day, that thing spins. And throughout the day, I will be on a different spot. That's just how the world is going right now. It's like, you know what? I'm right now, just burn it all. Fuck it, burn it all. Yeah. And then later on, I'm like,
fucking subtlety.
You know, it's like, and then the next part, it's something else. And someone called me out on Twitter. They called me out to the side and they said, hey, can you explain why you put this thing up? Because it seems like it's kind of counter to like the message you want to do, blah, 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 blah. And I talked to him about it, but I said, you have to understand, my opinion on this stuff, my feelings on this stuff fluctuate throughout the entire day. So at the moment right there, it's like, yeah, I was in fuck it all mode.
Yeah.
You know, I was. And
anyone out there who doesn't admit, and this is what I'm talking about, so if they don't admit that they're there, then they're lying to themselves. Of course. Look, here's the thing. I'm a depressive. I've had thoughts of suicide. And I'm offended that someday I will pass away. Right? It's totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to have to separate this shit, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a whole other thing.
This may be the part where I bring it aside.
Yeah, we'll have a side conversation on that.
Yeah.
Who's in the thing? There's people in the chat asking questions. Scott Mayer says, "Do you have you, not Jerry, heard of Paul Messer?" Okay, not me. Okay, so that's somebody else because I have
course, not. Scott, Paul Messer and I are friends. We've been at festivals together. I think he's one of the most important puppeteers of our time. I really do. I think he's so talented and has pushed our art form forward. If you're familiar with Paul Mesner and you enjoy, you need to look at Hobie Ford, especially right now because there's a documentary about Hobie Ford, and he's a dear man. And if you've ever had, I don't have one, but if you've ever had one of those rings with the 2 eyes on it, he's the inventor of that, Hobie Ford. Look him up. You will absolutely adore this man. He's everything I wish I could be. And Ronnie Burkett. Look up Ronnie Burkett. Ronnie Burkett, how do I explain him? And I'm mispronouncing his name. I just realized. Remember that if anyone has ever seen Being John Malkovich, when he took over the body, spoilers, and decided that John Malkovich would be a puppeteer, and he was talking about it in forums and thus about the importance of puppeteer. That's Ronnie. That's really what Ronnie is. I've had people tell me that when they've seen a show from Ronnie, after it was over, they had to collect themselves before they could leave. That's puppetry, in my opinion. So, yes, I know him very well.
Well, there you go. Because I was like, nope. But
Jerry I have no idea what he's saying right now.
But oh hey, you can hear the helicopters out there.
Yeah. And brother, I gotta go for sleep.
Yes.
It was a bad.
Yeah,
Well,
all right.
there's our music. So I think it's time for us to go.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think this worked out well. I'm really happy.
No, I'm glad to have. And the funny thing is I had little videos to pull up if we needed to talk about something. But yeah, I didn't have to.
You and I have never sat quietly next to each other.
Yeah.
Period. Ever.
So Carolyn asks if I'm one of the two characters. Yes, we are the two. So we're actually, at least for me, we're oriented correctly. Yeah. So I'm this one here.
Right?
I'm the gorilla, the brown one, and he's the blue haired one.
Wait,
Yes.
I gotta do the other. Oh, you put my eyebrows backwards.
So yes.
There it is. Oh, I can't do it that way. Yeah. So
Can't do it that way.
no,
So
you got it wrong, brother.
what are you talking about? Let's see. Is there anything else? I just wanted to make sure there's nothing important things that people wanted to hear from.
But there's
no.
an important thing that I want people to look.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jerry and I have always been creative people. We're dear friends and we love each other very much. And because of that, we're able to talk about things that I don't think a lot of people can. And I'm hoping that you can tune in and hear it.
Yeah, we're going to do this more frequently.
Way.
One, it's almost like therapy, but for us in terms of just being able to get this stuff out.
Yeah. But when I'm on the phone with Jerry, yeah, it's like there. I leave knowing that someone has, if not understood, heard me. So I hope that you can either, you out there, understand or hear and contribute. That's going to be important to me.
Sorry, I just saw this.
Ah!
Just had to throw that on there. All right, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. Actually, and you can hang around for a minute. But, once I go off, we'll still be up here, so you don't need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been good. I like being in it, and also just checking with people. People, I get silent for a while, and people wonder, especially times like this. They're like, "Hey, man, is everything okay?" And by the way, some of you have reached out separately. And I don't see anybody in the chat that has, but some of you have reached out like either through email or through Twitter, kind of around, just saying, "Hey, what's up?" And thanks for that. That's a lot of people don't do that. They don't really think about other people. I don't think I told you this, but I even reached out to D Marble, right? The flat earther that I've had a lot of exchanges with. Yeah. I reached out to him to say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Yeah. He hasn't responded, but I've been saying, "Hey,
important."
Yeah. I think it's important, especially since I know he's up in like Washington or something. It's like he's all by himself up there. It's like, dude.
I just went, ooh.
But yeah, it's important to check in with each other. I checked in with a couple of my coworkers who were furloughed, checked and see how they were doing, and just watch out for each other. And, so it's appreciated. Thank you very much. I'm doing well.
Everybody. And also stay tuned because this was what we call our experiment to see how we felt about it. And
Have a dry run.
Something we've always wanted. So keep updated and follow whatever way we point if you want to see more of it.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I am Jerry Williams, aka GreaterSapien. This has been Ovale, and see you again soon. Bye.